I mean, I spoke in the pregame show on the radio about, we're used to having 5 or 6 days, maybe 7 days between games at Christmas time, not 3 weeks. You know, so I thought offensively we were really out of rhythm. We've been one of the better three-point shooting teams in the country in the non-conference, and we went 5 for 20, and we just couldn't seem to buy some really good looks. I thought we got good looks from three, and they just didn't go down with from good shooters. So a lot of credit to Toledo. I thought they had a really good game plan for us. They played really tough physical defense, took us out of our stuff. But we've got to learn from this and move on. I think Toledo's going to be one of the better teams in the league. They proved that. I still think we're one of the best teams in the league. So this was definitely not our best showing. We're a better team than how we played today. But we'll regroup and we'll get better. And it's a long conference season ahead of us.
Questions for Hannah?
Okay. Looking at down the stretch, right? The first 3 quarters, you guys closed out the quarters well. Fourth quarter, they did. You have 3 seniors. Not a lot of crazy experience. Does that play a role in down the stretch, or what happened down the stretch there?
I think it definitely plays a role. I think it just comes down to us just being focused and connected, and I think we lost some of that, especially defensively. We were allowing them to get some offensive rebounds, and we weren't talking early on defense, and then we weren't making plays on offense, so that's kind of how they took the lead and made it a stretch.
Number 51 down the stretch. She had 10 points in the game, but she had 8 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
What kind of a nuisance was she? What was she doing right to cause such problems for you guys?
Just rebounding the ball and getting those offensive rebounds and finishing. Just a lot of quick finishes, and we couldn't stop her.
Now, and she's a big body there.
Yeah.
I mean, how much is that a role there in the fact that you can't get around her to maybe swipe at the ball?
It definitely means that if our help defense needs to be there and be able to stunt and dig, but if you are digging, you have to be able to get back to the shooters. So I think we just need to work on that kind of thing and just being connected, and then we'll be fine moving forward.
You guys are riding that wave, right? Now you got a game on Saturday. It's a quick turnaround. How do you forget about this one? Do you forget about this one and start looking ahead?
You don't forget about it. You definitely learn from it. You take tonight to think about what happened, and you learn from it, and then tomorrow in practice, you work on those things and continue in game plan for Western.
Good deal.
Anything else for Hannah?
No, I'm good.
You're good to go, Hannah.
Thanks, Hannah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Kind of same question.
Yeah.
Youth, how much did youth play a role down the stretch in that you kind of saw them take that next step in the last, 3 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, Lindsay Thal having foul trouble down the stretch really hurt us. Her picking up that 4th foul and us having her on the bench. Obviously, a 4th-year player like Lindsay. We had Bridget, a freshman, in there trying to guard a Big Ten transfer. I mean, but credit to them. They ran those actions to get her the basketball, and they were able to finish those down there. So I thought they obviously handled things down the stretch better than we did. But yeah, I think we could have done some things better than we did down the stretch. But I think we have a lot of experience. But having to have Bridget in the game, done on the game, instead of Lindsay, was where they really kind of took advantage of. I don't think Bridget played poorly. I thought she actually had a really good game, but she just doesn't have in-game experience at this level with the intensity in conference play. Lindsay's been doing this for 4 years, so that kind of hurt us a little bit. But credit to them, they executed and were able to capitalize.
Kind of a matchup problem with 51 down the stretch for them.
Yeah, I mean, obvious. I mean, she's transfer from Indiana, Big Ten. She's big. We've actually done a pretty good job at defending big post players in the non-conference. We faced them against Penn State. We faced them against other teams that we've played. But today it hurt us a little bit. I probably could have done a few things. We probably could have called a couple of different defenses to maybe throw them out of rhythm a little bit. We stuck with what we felt like was a good game plan, but it kind of bit us there at the end.
You were talking about your shooting. I think it was 22 for 66. I want to say. How do you get better looks in the next game? What did you learn from today that maybe you can do? I don't want to say better. Maybe you can learn from this this game headed into Saturday.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not going to face 6'5", 6'6" again in the league. That's a big front court. So I thought for the most part we got good looks. I thought some of our players were forcing shots early in the paint that weren't there. But we got really good looks from three. Like I said, we've been shooting 42% from the 3-point line as a team in the non-conference, and to shoot 25% in today's game. I mean, that was big. We had a couple of really good looks down the stretch. I mean, that were in and out. I mean, that looked like they were going in, and we just didn't make them. But, when you have shooters that are shooting over 40% from three and they don't make one, or a lot of that comes down to not playing for 3 weeks. You can't just stop playing for 3 weeks and then turn it back on and play a conference game. And they played 2 games last week, so they're in a better rhythm. And I think it showed definitely on the offensive side, where we're better than scoring 60 a game, and we've been averaging 77 a game, and we've been shooting the ball better. And I think that had an effect on us offensively, and then down the stretch, free throws obviously and shots at the basket, really hurt us.